Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to let you know about a charity event coming up on January 19th, 2020 at Animals MMA in Yonkers. Fighter and uppercut man James Guccione and Andrew Benevento will be doing a 5K run along with a 6-minute grappling session followed by 3 rounds of boxing. Proceeds will go to the Sergeant Pat Fox Memorial. The goal is to raise $5,000, but it would be great to see them exceed that goal. And for more information on this, you can go to afsp.donordrive.com and enter Pat Fox in the search, or click the link in our bio on the Tiger Pit Instagram and Facebook pages, and that'll fill you in on any more details and how you can contribute and participate. That's afsp.donordrive.com and enter Pat Fox in the search. Or you can reach out to James himself. That's James Guccione on Instagram. That's James, Guccione. You'll see him. Or click the link in the Tiger Pit Instagram and Facebook pages, and it'll get you all the information you'll need. All right. This episode of The Tiger Pit is brought to you by Athlon Rub. Athlon Rub is the next generation in performance and recovery for all sports. It is a new approach on the traditional Thai oil formula, founded on the time-tested formula and enhanced through proven ingredients. Made in an FDA and ISO certified lab in the USA, certified and continually tested by Informed Choice to be free of banned substances, PEDs, and cross-contamination. You can go to athlonrub.com and take a look at all the products they have available, read testimonials from users, and see what everybody else is saying. And when you got some things in your cart, get an additional 10% off when you use the promo code TheTigerPit. That's athlonrub.com and promo code TheTigerPit for an additional 10% off all the cool stuff you're gonna buy. We are also brought to you by Knock My Legends. Knock My Legends celebrates the heroes, legends, and icons of Muay Thai and kickboxing. Their mission is to create art in the form of apparel that honors each fighter's contribution to the sport and the art we love. They also have a great selection of shirts, gear, and accessories that highlight the greats from the sport from the past up until today. You can go to knockmylegends.com, that's NAKMUAY legends.com, as well as Facebook and Instagram, and check out what they have. And when you're ready to buy something, you're at checkout, enter the promo code TheTigerPit for an additional 10% off your purchase. Again, that's knockmylegends.com, NAKMUAY legends.com, or Knock My Legends on Facebook and Instagram. This episode also brought to you by Diplomatico Rum. Diplomatico is distributed in over 80 countries around the world. It holds the Ron de Venezuela DOC and is recognized as one of the world's finest rums. They have 3 different ranges for your tastes: traditional, prestige, and the distillery collection. You can find them online at rondiplomatico.com. That's Ron, R-O-N, which means rum in Spanish, for those of you who don't speak Spanish. Anyways, it's rondiplomatico.com to learn more about who they are and find out some history behind one of the world's greatest rums. We are also brought to you by Unplugged Essentials. Hemp is at the core of their innovation. However, not all hemp is created equal. Instead of using either isolated CBD or cannabis oil, which are the most popular cannabis-derived products on the market right now, they have infused their soaps with a water-soluble, hemp-derived, phytocannabinoid-rich powder. This way, they make sure that all their products take advantage of the several hundred bioactive components present in hemp. They also make no compromise in quality to ensure each batch is lab-tested and 100% THC-free. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook, or go to unpluggedfloatessentials.com and get yours today. And you can use the promo code TheTigerPit at checkout for an additional 10% off your order. That's Unplugged Essentials on Instagram and Facebook, and unpluggedfloatessentials.com online, or just, regular online. And like I said, use the promo code TheTigerPit for 10% off your order. All right, and this is for our New York friends and listeners here. We are also brought to you by the Stepping Razor Barbershop at 952 Flushing Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. The Stepping Razor leans into the realm of the classic 1940s American barbershop. They specialize in American classic traditional haircuts and shaves, but are versatile and can do much, much more. You can check them out on Instagram at the Stepping Razor Barbershop, or go to thesteppingrazor.com to book your appointment and get yourself looking good and feeling good. And lastly, We are brought to you by the Dojo NYC at 1082 Cypress Avenue in Ridgewood. The Dojo NYC is a fully equipped martial arts training center specializing in Cobrinha Jiu-Jitsu, traditional Muay Thai, and MMA. Whether you want to go and just get a good workout or compete at a high level, it's a great place to train. You can also go to the dojonyc.com and check out their classes, instructors, programs, and even sign up for a free trial class, which hopefully after you do that, you'll sign up for more and keep going and get better at jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, whatever it is you're going for. That's the dojonyc.com online and the Dojo NYC on Instagram. Our guest on this episode of The Tiger Pit is a multi-instrumentalist, singer, and songwriter. He came to New York back in 2001 on his search for his sound and has gone on to produce an endless stream of music for TV and film and for release. He was picked up by Atlantic Records back in 2003, just on the strength of his debut album, So Long. Went on to tour throughout the United States, including performances at Bonnaroo. After not seeing eye to eye on his musical direction, he left Atlantic and began writing and producing music the way he wanted to, and collaborating with musicians such as Nels Cline, Josh Werner, producer Danny Bloom. He's now touring in his Westfalia, playing unconventional venues at the request of his fans throughout the country, and self-releasing his own music. You can check him out at www.dustanlouque.com. That's all one word. DUSTANLOUQUE.com. Same thing on Instagram, Dustan Louque, one word, and Facebook, Dustan Louque. And same thing on YouTube if you want to check out some of his music, videos, and performances. So would you please welcome to the Tiger Pit another one of our old friends, all the way from the Crescent City, Mr. Dustan Louque.
On the next episode of Adventures in Edibles.
It's a Bavarian and a Polish guy.
Okay, we'll start the podcast right here.
It's 9 o'clock. It's dark enough.
I'm putting on my ninja suit.
That's the part, right? You gotta get into your head.
Now you're struggling with your words.
Check the Yelp reviews. I'm sure they have like 4. It's amazing.
I was trying to get that out, and I had a hard time struggling in my head.
They just see something they don't recognize, and they check out immediately.
I had a point.
Coming to the stage.
I've heard this many times from different sources.
You didn't even know me when I was hanging out there.
That sounds like such a burnout thing to do.
Tiger Pit.
Full of chips, ready to rock and roll. How was the road, man? Oh man, I'm so glad you came tonight, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
Cheers.
When I reached out to you and I was like, "Hey man, you want to do the podcast?" You right away you were like, "Yep." I was like,
Well,
"Ooh,
yeah.
that was easy." I was like, "That was
Why not,
great."
man? Why not?
Oh
I mean,
man,
we're like the old schoolers, like around here now, right?
Yeah,
Not
we-
old school, but like,
yeah, we are.
I was telling somebody today, like enough years passed and we kept doing it, so like we like finally feel like we know what we're doing, you know?
Do you know? I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm starting to feel like I know what I'm doing.
When you hit the stride.
I'm kidding.
Like
Yeah,
when you
I'm
hit a
really
stride,
starting to
you're
feel
like,
like it took years, man,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
feel
yeah.
comfortable.
Well, you seem like you're rocking and rolling right now, man.
Doing
You know,
okay.
you're always
I don't
on
know
the.
if you want to call it rocking and rolling.
But you know what I mean. Like you're doing it. You're in the
I found
road
a
and
path.
stuff. You're enjoying the van stuff and all that.
I found
That's
a
great.
path that works
Yeah.
for me. I don't feel corny.
But that's what it's all
That's what
about.
I- that's
Finding
what I
what
found.
works for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
man.
And how's that van running?
Van's good, man. We just got a new engine. I got a
Oh, you did an engine replacement in it.
yeah. We just did two. We got a 2.3 in it from Go Westy. I use Instagram to
facilitate it.
yeah, to get like a little small sponsorship from this company on the West Coast. They deal with all the water boxer engines, which is
The
86
Porsche engine?
Water,
Is
it's basically a Porsche
yeah.
engine. So it's like 86s to 91, and after a couple of years, they answered me back and took me aboard, and like I get small discounts over the years, but it's getting better and better. But they have the expertise, like they make parts, all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
parts, engines. So
Did they
finally-
do the engine transplant?
No, I have. They redo all the engines. You know,
They shipped it to you.
they shipped it to us. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's been cool, man.
That's awesome.
You know, we're
Did
all
you
car
replace
nuts.
it because it died?
Yeah, we had pulled the other engine because I had like a rear seal. It was hemorrhaging
Yeah, it was just
oil.
time.
So I always do as much preventative maintenance when I'm not on the road. So that was what we were doing at the time. We put the engine back in, then it started clankering. And we
Maintenance.
found So we're like, let's just
Crucial.
So we
It's
had like 2 weeks
crucial,
before
man.
we hit the road, and Go Westy just put us one on the road, and we got it within a few days. And my mechanic in Lafayette was ready to roll. So
That's awesome, man.
it's exciting, man. Felt like a kid, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas. It comes in a crate.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
get to enjoy
I
that
did that
part of
with
what
my
I'm
hot
doing
rod.
too. You know what I mean? Like when I started thinking about, okay, I got to hit the road again, or else quit making records. How do I want to do that? You know, I wanted to be a business owner a lot like you guys. You know, like you got a storefront, but mine's this little beautiful van that
But
people
you.
want to pull for, and it's me,
But
and
your
I get
business.
to like cars.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? I get
I
to
wouldn't mind-
tinker with them. It's
I wouldn't
fun.
mind doing something with cars too, man. I've always had my dream was always to like, if I could. I've been talking about this a lot lately too with Claudia. I think I'm kind of like burning a hole in her ear. I'd love to have like a warehouse space, and I'm always like shopping, like window shopping.
Oh,
rather.
Lord.
I'm always looking,
me too.
man. I'm like, dude, I could buy this boat. I could buy these 3 cars. I just want to like fill up this warehouse.
If you
with
had a
these-
warehouse, that would be the most insane fucking warehouse.
Oh, it would be completely
Like, it's
bananas.
like 5 choppers, 10
Yeah.
vans, like my El Camino collection. Half of it would be there, half pipe.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like if I made a lot of bread, guaranteed that's what my life would be like.
You still have a lot of motorcycles? Like
I'm down to only 2 now.
2.
Yeah.
I know you just sold a big Harley. I
did,
think.
yeah.
I thought I saw that. That was a good price.
Yeah, it was. I
It's a
gave
really
it away.
good price.
Yeah, I
Damn.
gave it away. And the guy who bought it from me, he almost like destroyed it aesthetically.
What was that? That was
Yeah, it was an
it was a
85
big one.
FLH.
FLH.
Yeah,
that's
but I
what
had it
thought.
done like all Elvis style. You
That's
know,
a hefty
like,
bike.
It was like
the
an electric
FLH.
glide.
it was an electric glide. Yeah,
Electric glide. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
But the way he,
I love a stripped down electric glide.
Oh,
but he
they're
totally
just
got rid of everything.
Beefy, but just strip
With
all the
just 2
stuff.
saddlebags on it and like
Yeah.
a nice lower seat.
Yeah,
It's a nice.
Yeah, and I went crazy. I dug up all like the stuff that was missing from it, like all like the railings that go around like the
Yep.
bags and stuff. Not the bags, the cases, the hard cases, rather.
That's
They
all the
got
fun.
fenders.
That's the fun
Nowadays, you
shop.
can find everything
I
now.
love it. See, I love it. I get down on that. Like,
I love it too.
you know, that's what I want to do. I just want to buy something else so I can find all the shit
Find
that
the
he
parts.
needs. You know
That's
I'm
what we
saying?
do. That's why we do it. You know?
That's why we do it. Exactly.
So my van kind of gives me that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when
right,
I'm on
right.
off the road, I'm like, okay, you know that sound? It was making a funny sound. What is that? Oh, I just need to replace this or that.
and then you go crazy
And
digging
it's
for
like,
it, trying
yeah,
to find it.
Well, I don't have to dig. Like Go Westy is amazing.
They just have everything.
They have everything.
Wow, crazy.
What,
So
you,
it's-
what got you into the Volkswagen?
Well, I had Volkswagen Bugs as a kid, and
Oh,
I
you
always
did?
liked.
I was wondering what-
Yeah, we used to kind of tinker with them, and my dad was rebuilding. He had this. He would go to the factory in this old orange Bug, and I loved this thing, and I was telling him how I was going to fix it up. And, you know, it would have the factory soot on it. I would clean it with a Brillo pad on the weekends. I just loved
Mm-hmm.
this. I loved tinkering with it. Then we had another one for parts. So I would do like interior kind of stuff, you know,
Okay.
like trying to fix it, maybe change the lights. And then we rebuilt the engine, and we got this engine running so good. We were so proud. It was really nice. And then, you know, it was a life lesson. This guy in the next town over had this one fixed up. It had a big lightning bolt, beautiful paint job, chrome engine, and we were all
on a bug?
on a Bug. It was beautiful. I'll try to find a picture for you. But
That's
we made
hilarious.
a mistake, man. We bought the damn thing, and we sold ours. It was running beautifully. We were going to do a paint job. But, you know, we bought this big shiny thing, and it ended up being the wrong thing, you know. And it was a life lesson
That happens.
I took with me when I moved to New York. Like you don't take the shortcuts sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you
true.
do the things yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what I'm carrying into what I'm doing now. And I did it in the early days, making a record on my own. You know what I mean? Buying the equipment and saying, "Hell, man." And it was like that in this neighborhood back in the day. You remember
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were quitting. They were leaving the cubicles with these big fancy Wall Street jobs. And they were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do my
There was a lot
own
of
thing,
dot-com
and that was
you could do with
happening.
that.
Yeah.
and that's why I like this neighborhood. It was you saw it. It was
People weren't
happening.
afraid to try to do it themselves.
They
back
were saying,
then.
you know what, my dad.
I think it's less than that.
You
It's
know.
less of that now.
Yeah, it's probably gone back in
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
Well,
the
back
cubicle.
then too, it was
right?
like you had to like make your own scene or make your own thing or
Yep.
like be a part. Like you got into a scene because you had something that fit into it, and it wasn't like this. Okay,
Yeah.
we all here's like 8 people with laptops all in a row.
Yeah.
like on
Right.
stage. You know, it's like this one. You know, it's like you had a different palette in front of you to listen to and check out, and now it's so like just sterilized. It's like all the same thing. You know?
Yeah. And I don't just think it's New York. I think it's everywhere now. That's
Yeah.
what's happening, you know? It's like super sterile, and I blame it on a lot of it. I wouldn't just put the blame on it, but a lot of it is social media. The fact that you can just kind of like see what other people are doing.
Yeah, you can stay home.
You can kind of just
you don't
rip
even
off what
have
other
to
people
come
are
to a
doing.
city anymore to know what's up. You know, you can really.
It's
be
not
your
about
own.
the city anymore.
Or you don't have to wait for that next magazine to drop to see what people
Yeah.
are wearing or whatever. You know, you could.
That's funny, yeah.
Well,
Well, the
that's
magazine
what-
was like you had to wait a
exactly.
month.
Yeah,
That's
And
what I
you
was.
rip through that magazine in a week, and then you're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, I got 3 weeks." Of
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about like back in. I mean, I don't want to date myself here, but you know, back
Do
in
it,
the
do
day, in like the mid '90s, like when I first got here, like '95. There was, I mean, I went to FIT, so I saw crazy fashion people all the time. But like, there was so many cool like weirdos, for lack of a better word. Like people just did their own thing, and there was nothing to follow then. So
Right.
if they were like, you know, eccentric or whatever, that's because they created that style.
Yeah.
That was their shit.
Yep.
Now everybody just looks kind of like a carbon copy of everyone.
It's true.
Yeah, different shades of the same.
Yeah. Like there's a Brooklyn look. That's kind of weird.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like
is.
if I drop you off in another country and you see people, you know
Here's
the
a
look.
Brooklyn.
You'll see it. You're like that person's totally rocking that
You
style.
are from the Brooklyns.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. There's like a weird thing, like
Yeah.
like Brooklynizing something is an actual thing. You know,
It's true.
It's really weird, man. Like everybody just so tied in together that
People really love Brooklyn. Like
They
when it
really
started
do.
Yo,
to-
this is the center. of
Dude,
the
like all of a
universe,
sudden you go to
man.
Nashville, like, and they're looking kind of like Brooklyn, and the coffee's $6,
Yeah.
$5.
That's probably the most Brooklyn shit
Yeah,
about it.
no doubt, no doubt.
They have the fancy aprons, you know.
Yeah.
Like, look
And
like
I mean,
they're
I'm
about
at
to-
fault too because just having a barbershop, man, like
Yeah.
throughout the years, I helped facilitate a certain part of that look.
But what does Brooklyn
It's
look
awesome.
like?
We loved it though.
Oh, man.
we loved like you know like there was a thing. That was a whole aesthetic happening. You remember
Yeah.
Save the tattoo parlor? You remember that
Yes,
place?
it's huge now. It's way
Dude,
big
that was
now.
like the first Edison bulb you saw. You remember
Yeah,
that?
it's
Like
way big
before
now.
everything was all decked out in the
yeah,
industrial.
yeah.
stuff.
Those motherfuckers are getting like $500 an hour.
Oh really? They still like they're not open though.
Sure, they are.
That
Same
same
tattoo?
space.
Yeah,
Really?
maybe not the same one, but
They're not. What's that
still
restaurant in
around.
that space now? Forget that restaurant, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, it's
I've always
probably a lot
loved
bigger
it.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing how, you know, just you don't have to develop anything.
But it goes back to like ultimately, if you just do what it is you do,
Yeah, and keep doing it.
if it doesn't
Yes.
pop in
A
like
long time.
yeah, if it doesn't
Exactly.
pop in a year, if it doesn't pop in
Yeah.
2 years, 10 years down the line, like you're not thinking
Yeah.
at that time like, oh, 10 years down the line, this could actually pop off. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like I learned that shit
Yeah.
like working on some of this like old catalog shit. You're like, you know
Yeah.
what? It wasn't the right time.
It's true.
For all that
Now it's
stuff,
the right
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, and a lot of our music
Yeah.
is the same way. You know.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What you know? I try to look on the positive side with all the Spotify and all the stuff. Like you give it away, but you know it's nice. Like the process of discovery is still out there. Like we constantly like playing. Margaret's over there. She tours with me, but we constantly playing, and sometimes a lot of people discover me for the first time or whatever I do. And if you go back, there's a lot of stuff to go check out.
Yes,
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
I totally dig
Certainly,
that.
I'm getting a half of a penny for it. You know, but
But it's when
It's nice. It's like they
when
get
the
to-
quarter ends and you get the royalties. You're like, that's more money than I had when I woke up
yeah.
or when I went
Yeah.
to sleep last night. You know.
Which I want to talk to you about that, all the sound scan stuff. I'm having a little trouble, but we'll talk about that off the air.
It's,
but I know you've been doing all that stuff, so there's a lot of
I'm trying to start a
I filled
publishing
one.
empire.
yeah. But I seriously want to talk to you about that. But
How often are you on the road now?
we do like one big 2-month tour a year, and I did I used to go to the West Coast.
you'll
but
do
West
just
Coast
2
is
months
tough.
out.
2 months out.
That's pretty heavy.
Because we do like it's mostly weekends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's mostly people that wrote me over the years. After I got dropped by the label, I kept making songs for film, and me and Josh made a record
Mm-hmm.
in '08 that never saw the light of day. It's a very good record, Royal Vagabonds.
I remember. You guys put it out.
Dude, it's not no, we never put it out.
No?
There was like
It
2
was of
songs
that
that
era.
came out. Like,
Yeah,
you
'cause
did
I
a
heard
video.
it.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
you
we
got
had,
the
we had all
record.
the video. We would never like put it out on a label.
Oh yes, there was a video. I remember the video too. You guys were like in the back of a pickup truck and stuff.
Because we were all cutting stuff around that time.
Dude, you had
Yeah.
long lost. Dude, that record was good. Speaking of records that never got released, I don't know if you made a whole record, but I love that song.
I actually.
Oh, all this country stuff. Oh man, I
It was right
I
after
get
your
on
dad
this dude
died.
all the time
I'm,
about that.
I
It
was
was
thinking about
heavy.
this last
Oh
night.
man, it was so good.
I'm getting some studio time and I'm putting some folks together, and the songs that ended up just staying as demos from that, I'm actually just gonna recut them. Mm-hmm. Last night I came.
I'd
home,
love to hear that song.
I
mean,
came
it was
home
It's
last
really good
night
stuff.
and I started working on some stuff, and I came across this other song that I had written, and I was working on the previous episode, right? So Isha was gone. I had the house to myself, so I had to go in through the speakers. So I come home last night and I'm working on some of that shit where I'm
Yeah, yeah.
singing on, right? I didn't know the fucking speakers are on. So I got headphones on and I'm working on this shit.
Everything leaked.
Isha's sitting behind me.
Oh,
And then like 15 minutes in, she like walks up to me and I see her out of the corner of my eye and she's like tap me on the shoulder. She's like, hey, like, what do you want for dinner? We're like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, why don't you put this out? And I was like, fuck the speakers are on. Like, I was like, I felt like I got caught like jerking off or something. You know what I'm saying? I was like, get out of here.
Oh,
You know?
it's true. It's
And
what it
she
feels
was
like.
I was like, wow, shit. She's like, no, like you got to do something like this. I was like,
Yeah.
the fucking speakers are on. You know, like I was freaking out.
You do have to put that stuff out though. It's enough. You gotta do it. Enough is enough.
I've
been riding you about this for a long time.
I came across a couple, so I found some sessions and I remixed Long Lost like
From 07, 08?
proper. Yeah.
That was some
Like I
good stuff.
remixed Long Lost proper on some like kind of like croon binny, like reverbs, and because the way we recorded it and mixed it was just very dry, like Waylon's like.
It was real
honky-tonk hero.
performance.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
more performance than like studio, like trying to get it all perfect. You know, from what I
Yeah.
remember. You know.
No, yeah, definitely. But it turned out pretty nice, like in the right way. Mm-hmm. So I just made the drums big and put like a bunch of reverb on stuff, and I was like, this sounds.
It was nice.
Isn't it funny how for so long we were like in a dub vortex, and then we went to like a country vortex, and we went back to a dub vortex.
Dude, let's talk about that dub. We were all
Oh, yeah.
possessed with dub. You remember?
That's what I'm saying. We were in a dub vortex.
Yeah, where are
Dude,
your,
it
where
was
are your
like-
little shot glasses.
Yeah.
This
Right here.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab a beer.
This was like
Turn it
Keep
into a
going.
real
Go.
friend hang real soon.
no, but man, I was like, you couldn't just research it online. Really, I guess you could at the time. No, I mean, yeah, we had the internet and stuff, but it
It
wasn't
wasn't
like
like
it is
how
now.
it is now.
You didn't have
No.
Spotify. That's what it is. You still had to buy records.
Join us for a shot?
Man, I bought so many earwax. Remember earwax? I bought so many dub records just to hear Lee Scratch Perry, or hear
The guy Alex who
King Tubby,
who managed Earwax for so long during that time period.
Uh-huh.
He's one of my clients, man.
no
He's
kidding.
been my client for years. I've been cutting his hair for years. It's
Yep.
hilarious.
Is it the redhead guy?
He's kind of brownish red. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
him.
think I
It's
remember
him.
him, yeah.
He was always in there.
Yes.
But
I know you're talking about.
I mean, some time passed, and I hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
And I started cutting his hair around, 2012.
Yeah.
But it had been like at least
I think I know you're
10
talking
years
about.
since the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
He just walked in the shop one day, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was really crazy.
Dude, I saw him fucked up on a train one night. Like,
Oh, really?
I was visiting town. I'm like, damn, that's the dude from Earwax. And we just were just chilling on the train. I guess we were coming back into Williamsburg.
That's funny.
He was awesome. Are they in North?
They were on the corner of North 5th and Bedford. They were right next door to
No, but they're in
Cleveland.
Greenpoint now. Is what I was
Wait,
gonna say.
it's not still.
I
Who?
thought they were Earwax. Did
No,
they
they-
move
didn't they
north
close?
side? Not Green. Maybe.
I thought they
I
closed.
don't know. I get all these errors since
Me
I
too.
moved away.
I can't
mixed
keep up anymore.
I don't remember. I knew they moved from where you used to be on North Fifth,
I
right?
can't keep up anymore.
You give me the
Everything.
So are we toasting to Dub? Here's the Dub.
Cheers to Dub.
Cheers.
Cheers to Dub.
Cheers.
And to having Dustin here and Margaret.
Yes, indeed. I was trying to tell about Cap Vert and where it was and the music, but
Yeah, I'm trying to go back next summer.
that's all like what I think brought us all together. You know, like our search, we all were on our own little spastic search that we were on. Cause
One of the biggest conversations I had with you when I first met you
remember that?
was about that. We just talked about and you taught me about Cajun people, and I talked to you about Creole people from Cape Verde, and you talked to me about Creole people in New Orleans. We just went on this like whole cultural.
That's what we
dialogue.
were on. We were on, like, you know, I was making a record with Don, who was Cajun.
That's
Wasn't
right.
really-
That's I remember.
But that was
he was
all
there
we
during this
cared about.
conversation.
We researched so much. Like,
Yeah.
and then Lee Scratch Perry, I was reading about Lee Scratch Perry, and like he was talking about like 50s New Orleans R&B coming through the speakers, and it was all compressed, and they heard the music, and the bass was like, and you know, and they were talking about R&B, and he was giving me specific artists like New Orleans stuff, maybe that I was too young to know about, but folk music. You know, getting back to like Cecilia Vorio, like I was attracted to that too. I'm like, okay, because where I grew up too is St. James Parish, and it's on the river. It's like loaded with plantations. So I grew up very much Creole, African people, influenced by. We didn't have our own music really, but it might be the high school marching band or a way a guy walks and talks, the rhythm of the speech.
There's a
So I was trying to
continuity
do
that
all
carries
that.
through.
What's that?
There's a continuity that carries
Yep.
through all these places too,
Yeah.
like through the islands and
Yeah.
you know, and into New Orleans and into the South and stuff. That it might be not. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted
No,
to say
it's all
this
good.
point before
Yeah.
we go on. It might be expressed in a different way, but there's a continuity that still carries through.
But even some of that stuff, you could take any roots music. All has a very. There's one thing about it, and sometimes it's real subtle, and sometimes it's obvious. But like,
Right.
doesn't matter where it's from. It's all like kind of follows this. It's like a humanish,
Yeah,
just basic human thing that like it's a rhythm that it's like you just feel. You know.
yeah.
Every time I have to like post a new album or whatever, and they ask you for genre, I'm a mutt, man. Like I don't know what I'm making, you know. Sometimes it
but
might
that's
be
the best
you
stuff,
know?
man.
But I always just be like folk.
I wish.
Like what do you call it? You know?
I wish I could just put
Folk.
stuff on things. That's the fucking genre that I do. I do stuff on things.
We're the same way. Like with our band, The Cool and Deadly. There's no. We obviously are. Where we come from is with reggae and stuff, and that's what we're trying to do. But it doesn't never gets. That's never what happens.
Yeah.
Like you can hear that there's reggae in there.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's not.
I love Floyd.
It's not
I love
a reggae band.
Bono, you know, I love like all that shit. We all like.
We're like
so
Led
much
Zeppelin
stuff.
reggae.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
Thin
yeah.
Lizzy reggae. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
it's true.
You know what I mean?
Man, you got your guitar dialed in over the years, huh? I remember when you first started playing guitar.
Yeah.
I remember.
I still feel like I just started playing.
Oh, of course. We
He's
all
playing
do.
next to Harvey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Harvey, you
I
play
get
with Harvey?
reminded
You feel
on a
like a
daily
dummy,
basis how
dude.
much I suck.
Yeah, but somebody's got to stick the rhythm.
No, that's
Somebody's
hey,
got to.
listen,
And
I've
that's
gotten two.
It's an art form.
I've
man.
gotten two of the
You know?
best compliments
It's an art form.
about my guitar playing by two of the people that I respect the most on guitar, and it's a simple compliment. They didn't say I was awesome or anything like that. If that's what you're thinking. They just said, "Hey, man, you do your job and you do it well." I was like, "Yep, thanks, dude. Putting that in the pocket
Seriously.
for when I need it." Feeling
Seriously,
depressed
though.
today? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Not everybody can play rhythm. Not everybody can play bass.
Well, that's
Some
what they were
people
saying.
might
It's a
get
job,
bored,
like-
you know, it's a thing.
a lot of rhythm players want to go and do play more than rhythm.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
Guitar
It's always what happens.
Guitar
But
players.
if you just do what your job is and stick to it and do it well, they'd rather play with you than some jackass that's going to be fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So speaking of guitar, man, like I didn't really know how to play guitar back in the day. I mean, maybe a little bit to write a song, but man, I love the guitar now.
It's so cool, man.
Like, I mean, just have evolved over the years, and I've gotten to play with amazing guitarists that I learned stuff from. But
Is that what you're doing all the time on stage? I saw you
Man,
playing a
I play-
melodica the other day on a video.
yeah, I do play melodica. Margaret plays a lot of melodica too.
Oh, cool.
Melodica's a
Well, I
great
love it. You know, I always have we're two people out there traveling. Sometimes I'll drop a beat. But, you know, I love dub and I love all these things. So I have, like, my pedal board. I have a space echo and reverb for my voice. I could, like, tap tempo my dubs here at the, in the right part of the song. So I might be playing guitar through Memory Man.
Nice.
You know, Memory Man.
Yes.
Yes, it sounds good. So it's like it's kind of straight ahead. And Margaret plays.
Synthesizer. I saw.
So we have
pictures.
synths. We have the little Nord it's really good. But Wurlitzer, and she's I've showed her a lot of dub stuff over the years, and she's naturally like sort of found her own thing with it all.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I was getting. So yeah, melodica. So that's Augustus Pablo for me. You know, like,
All right.
so I'm introducing these elements to the music. With two people. Certainly, I would like to play with a band, but it's fun.
Cool that it's a recipe of a bunch of stuff.
It's a recipe.
You know?
It's like
I dig that more and more. At first, I think I kind of struggled with that idea because I was like, "Oh fuck, man! I just want to just do real one thing, do it real, like authentic stuff." But then I kind of outgrew that shit. And I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna do what the fuck I want."
You just got to do what you got to do. Man.
Yeah.
Before you outgrow it.
I'm not one thing. I'm not authentic.
Well, let me tell you
I'm
this.
Creole.
Yes.
That is the most inauthentic thing you've ever said.
So,
But yeah, just mixing it up, man, and just an amalgamation of sound that's real creation.
so I got to play. I was.
Yeah, wherever you're gonna
winning.
say you're playing, they're hyped up about it. They're like,
really
tell us
excited.
how you play.
Damn. Y'all told him I was coming? No, I'm just kidding. Damn it, man! I thought this was gonna be a private thing.
Dude, you don't even fucking understand who's about to walk through those doors.
Damn, man. God. This guy, everybody thought he was dead. He's alive.
So when you guys are on the road and stuff, are you staying at in lodging, or you doing the van thing too sometimes?
We do a lot of state parks.
Oh, yeah,
The
okay.
van.
So you're
We
camping.
love the van. We love to cook in the van. But most of the time when we get to where we're playing, we have really nice situations. We
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
with our host. So it's a very different thing. People have emailed me over the years when I was just making records. Like, I love making records. That's
Me
that's
too.
what got us into it,
Yeah, the process
Dude, you
is
know what
fun.
happened to me? I made that first record and I got snatched up, and it just didn't feel like I wanted it to. And then it was, they were still operating as if they were in the old era of selling records. Like, the old people don't want to change. They just live in life the way they do.
Right.
So I was like, was of that era. All of us were making records at home. But now, after making music for film or making records and selling songs to film for a while, and then that got really competitive, people kept emailing me and emailing me and emailing me, and then Facebook came, and then Instagram. And I saw businesses use Instagram and all that stuff. So then that's when I got the idea, man, all these people, it might be 2 a month. It's not like a lot, but over the years it adds up. Like,
But 2 a month is
and
still,
dude, they
that's
would
a lot.
be like, they would tell me the story. I saw you play with your band at Bonnaroo, blah blah blah, or this, or I stole your CD from this person. It was always a different. Seriously, dude, it was always like, man, I had your CD for a while. I can't find it anywhere, and I did this to it. I dated my wife. We went on the first date, and she played me. It was all that stuff. It keeps going on and on and on. It was the same thing over and over and over and over. And I was working on a job. I bought a house in New Orleans, renovating houses, because I love to do that too. I can easily just be that guy. But I was always making music on the side. But people kept emailing me, and I'm working another job too, trying to make some damn money. You know what I mean? I work for my landlords here. I painted. I always wanted to have some real estate. I love doing it. So it was those years of okay, I don't know what the music industry is doing. I'm going to make music, but I'm also going to make some money.
Yeah.
But people kept emailing and emailing and emailing, and I finally got the confidence to reach out to them and try to see what I could
Try to
connect.
coordinate it. I think that it seems like it really works really well for you because you're the type of person that people want to. Let me see how to say this. They like to put the face and the personality with the music that they listen to. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
You're super
know.
chill.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
really personable, really nice guy.
Well, that's
You know
what
I
it
mean?
is, dude. It's like
people really
it's
like to hang
it's
with
a
you.
lot more work. It is a lot more
Yeah,
work.
'cause it's not just
It is.
performing. You actually gotta-
Margaret will tell you. I don't know if you want to
gotta
say
hang,
anything,
man.
but Margaret's unbelievable.
hang.
You gotta
Margaret's,
hang, dude.
Margaret's got people skills. She's it's not people skills. It's just she's genuinely present, present, and I am too. And it's just amazing, our relationships with people across the country in this era of like closed doors and everybody's afraid and fearful.
Yeah.
Here we are. We come through with this music that is constantly growing, and I'm and my life goal is to find the sound of St. James or all the stuff we're after, all the same shit you're after. You know, what do I sound like? So let's talk about Bob. Like, we all love Bob. Like, that's what music is to me. Like Bob said, spiritual. You know, it's spirituality. It's
I put
not.
on Uprising the other day because
Dude.
I haven't listened to it in so
Yeah,
long.
I do that
And,
here
like,
and there too.
there's
Bob
some-
Marley's one of those music that you started so young that it's been with you your whole life,
And then you have to
Put it
relearn.
away. Yeah,
you have to
put it away for
you
a
have to
little
put
while.
it away. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until New York, way after Dub, I'm like,
Yeah.
went back to Bob. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was way more than that party with what's the one Legend. You
Yes.
know that we
Oh,
all
yeah,
knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
But
way.
Legend
It was
really
like
is a great
All the early
Legend's
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah, I recently in the last 2 years have been I played a lot on like Sunday mornings and stuff, like with the kids. We just like kind of get
Sunday morning.
yeah, it's like church. You know what I'm saying?
It-
But
it
I
is
shelved
true.
it for a long time.
Me too.
I wasn't listening
Me
to it
too.
for a long time.
Me too.
But I was playing like the Kaya record.
That's a great record.
Yeah, the Kaya record. My dad got me that record when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
For doing chores like yard work and stuff, and gave me some money at the record store and told me to pick something, and I just picked that record.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why, but I picked that record.
Yep.
And it was like amazing.
It's so
it's
nice.
so reverb heavy too.
Kaya's a dub record.
Yeah,
Kaya is like, I don't care what other like Bob Marley dubs and stuff. The reason to me Bob Marley stuff never really worked in dub was because Bob had songs.
Yeah, it's true.
Arrangements.
Right, it's true.
Yeah.
There's like
it's
an
true.
A
He had
section.
songs.
It wasn't a
B
rhythm.
section. There's like, it's not
Yeah.
like
It's not a rhythm.
you know. The second you put the tiniest little bit of reverb on any reggae song, you put reverb on the fucking hi hats, and it'd be like, oh
sounds better.
shit, this shit just went somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
And then now they were just like reverb on the whole fucking mix, you know. Like they just turn reverb on and just print it.
You know what's weird? That when, I probably, right after I met you and Josh, you'd take me back to your apartment to listen to dub. I don't know if you were listening to a dub record at the Verb that day. Or you were
No,
listening
Paulie
to
introduced us that.
somebody, I don't know. But it was like an instant kind of thing, like, wow, you got, I think we went
With
back
all
to
of
your
us,
apartment.
all of us,
Yeah.
it's been an instant thing.
Yeah, Paulie introduced me.
That's
to
how
him.
we all became friends.
It's like, yo, you like that? Yeah, this dude is like, like get in the dub. Like, you guys should hang out. You
That was
should
the
meet,
fastest crew that ever formed in history.
man. Yo, that was on some.
It was like
Voltron
one
shit.
year. It was like a massive tribe happened. It's
true.
What? And we're
true.
all still tight to this day. This shit doesn't happen that easy.
But another weird thing is, so I'm researching. That's why you never saw me. I mean, I might came to hang out with you guys, but I felt like I didn't do anything in that era. I just felt like I was in my apartment, just totally trying to focus. Because I moved here with maybe 26 grand. I'm a country dude, man. I'm from a little small town,
You don't say.
So you know. But I moved here like, I got to make this shit count for
Yeah,
something.
man.
I got to do something. That's why I never came to too many parties. And but, reading.
Damn, I moved here with $200 and I was going fucking wild. Dude.
200 bucks and a kick drum. He didn't even have a full
$200
drum
and a
set.
fucking kick drum. I didn't even have money for luggage, dude. All my clothes was inside John's drums, man. I had $200 just like, what the fuck did you just do?
Well, Dustin's responsible.
No, I was like, I needed. That was like the thing that allowed me the freedom
Yeah.
to be in a place like New York.
Oh,
What
yeah.
could I do?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
and because I wasn't like naturally
Yeah.
talented. I wasn't like
What?
naturally musically. I didn't know how to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? I needed years.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know?
No. You're one of the most talented people I know.
But I didn't know how to make music. I didn't know how to record, and I didn't know what reverb was. I didn't know any of that shit, man. I made my first record. I had to bring pictures of tobacco sheds. I'm serious, dude. I'd be like, I want it to sound like this. Hey, I'm serious. Call Danny Bloom. He was
but that's
I
your
didn't
artist
know.
brain.
I didn't know. I'm serious.
Yeah, but I can dig it, man. If you show me a picture of a tobacco shed, I think I could probably make it sound
He's
like
like,
that.
oh, he
Like,
wants reverb.
I
And
know
the
what he
other
wants.
guy's like looking like he's a dick. Like, he's like,
I would totally
I'm
understand
like,
what
dude,
you meant.
fucking do the shit, man. I want some reverb.
Just turn the fucking reverb on, Lisa. Shut up. Just put it on.
But I had no
Visual
vocabulary.
description for sonic landscape. I can get down with that.
No. But think about it, like, so these things were coming through. I've always been kind of spiritual since like I was about 14, and it evolved quickly, and it's been a private thing. It's not a public, showy thing. And, fast forward to New York and music and the possibility of maybe that's my path. I was in acting school at Stella Adler, and I had these guys that, like, our ladies, teachers that were around for Brando, and they were really, everybody was scared of them. And you'd have to get up on stage in front of them. But I had some really great moments with these people I really respected. I'm in a city, I'm like in a beautiful studio that's like overlooking the city, and I'm in the arts. You know what I mean? It's a luxury, man. It was such a luxury.
This I didn't know. I didn't know you.
Yeah, man. So that was like, I didn't want to be an actor, but it was just a thing I gave to myself. But they would look at me. I would be up there doing my thing, and I was totally against being an actor. I hated people that were like big and fluffy and like, look at me. I couldn't do that to save my life. You know? So they would pick on me all the time. But they gave me a lot of confidence. They would put me aside, and they'd be like, "You're an artist." And that, meanwhile, I'm like at home with a 4-track. Mm-hmm. And, so things started to be like, oh, okay, I got this shit. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go over here and maybe buy a drum machine, buy MPC 2000.
4-track
and
will
I
turn
think,
you into an artist.
What's that?
4-track will turn you into an artist.
Yeah.
That shit will turn you into a wizard.
It's true.
You'll learn some
You were
shit
really
on
good at
4-track.
it.
You'll be like, hey, just take this and bounce this down here, and then I got 3 more tracks.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. You did some
remember you
good
doing all
4-track stuff. I remember.
Oh yeah.
I found an 8-track tape when I lived on Madison Street in Bed-Stuy. And you came over and we did some
weird acoustic stuff.
crazy acoustic
I know. I
dub
remember
shit,
that.
like-
I remember.
and it was weird. It was like minimal singing, but it was like crazy shit. I have to buy another one just to run those tapes off.
Yeah.
I like those old tape
And also a
machines.
mini disc recorder, 8-track.
I've been looking this shit up too.
We have tons of those mini discs with stuff on it. All these rhythms we did
Wow.
stuck on this.
You talk about the
weird-ass
little
medium.
recorders?
It's a
Little mini-
8-track.
No,
It's an
no.
8-track recorder,
Yeah,
but it
Yamaha.
recorded to a mini disc.
machine, but
Wow.
it cut to mini disc.
Damn.
I know, weird,
Yeah.
right? We got a lot of stuff.
I have like
Look
10
at
shoe
the lost
boxes
tapes, man.
at home filled with 4-track tapes, 8-track tapes, and mini discs.
Yeah,
I
we
have
got
like
tons
10
of
shoe
stuff,
boxes.
and I have stuff.
When are we gonna make a record?
You tell me, man.
Man,
What do you want?
that would be amazing to do.
Family style.
That sounds awesome.
This is the problem, though, is that I shouldn't say problem, but it's like the only way we can make a record and make it sound like us is if we're all
In the same room.
Yeah.
And that record is getting made with like 5
It's a hangout.
microphones.
Yeah, it's a hangout. You just play and it's
Yeah.
recorded. You're capturing like the essence of
Yeah.
now.
You know how they recorded Buena Vista Social Club, where it sounds like, oh my God, like I sound like I'm in the room with
Right.
them? Because the way they're playing, it's not how it's recorded, it's just the way they're playing.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's playing at once. That's why you get sucked in.
It's crazy you mentioned that. I was
That's the
thinking
only
that. Yeah, I love
fucking
that.
way we can make a record that to like really be like,
I believe that.
you know,
Yeah.
everybody had their little table and some rum, a little, you know, draw whatever next to you, and everybody's just rocking. You know, I only feel like going like, that's how I'm doing this whole song. This is that one fucking chord, man, and
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's just what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I wanted to ask you though, like, how do you ever like? I mean, obviously, everybody deals with this, but like, how do you deal with like being like in a creative drought?
A drought?
Yeah.
A drought? Why did you laugh?
You're never in a creative drought. Who's that? Who's that?
Why did you laugh?
You're always. He's more not in a drought.
Oh man.
Anyway.
It just
No, he's
doesn't
like
happen,
always
right?
flowing
Like, you're
with-
always
Not
just-
here.
Wait, you're saying he's always flowing with great ideas, like he's never really in a drought.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he's
that's amazing. Congratulations.
One of those people who must go in the other room and bleed for a while because he just keeps bleeding. It's great.
Congratulations, dude.
It's a curse, man.
No.
And it's not always good. It's
You want
not
to know a
always...
curse? I'll tell you a curse. I haven't written lyrics in 2 years. That's a curse. Everything I
just
write,
went
I'm
through
like,
a straight up drought.
this is amazing.
I went through that shit like last year.
Ugh,
I think it's
man.
probably like 3/4 of the year where I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't feel inspired, but so I'm not gonna indulge it though.
Right.
With not with guitar playing, not with writing like rhythms or anything like that. Just more on the lyric thing.
Yeah.
Just
Like knowing what you want to say.
yeah, just kind of like it has a lot to do with that. My life currently doesn't allow me to continue down the same path of my original process, which would be locking myself up in
Right.
my studio with a bottle of rum till 4 a.m. and I'd write gold.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't do that now as much
can.
anymore. No, I
Maybe
can't.
you don't need
but-
that to do it like that. That's
you sound
that's
like
the thing.
you sound like my wife.
No, like
You just have to change the way you do it. You need to
Maybe
wake
it's
up
right
and play
wrong.
guitar right away, not 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, the morning thing. I don't know how people do
That's
that.
how I like
But
to
you
do
know
it,
what though?
though.
Sometimes like I do this with
I like to
Dubs at
kind of be
home.
sad when I'm playing.
I do this with Dubs
Yeah.
at home. I'm like, you know what? There's just if I feel like if I start messing around with something and I'm like, oh, I feel like I could take this somewhere tonight. Like, you know
Yep.
what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna eat it tomorrow, man.
Yeah,
Dude, it's a good feeling.
You know?
God, it's a good feeling. When it happens and you know it's happening,
I know.
and you kind of...
Dude, I would party alone. I'd be like,
Yeah.
listen, it would, 4 hours of it would be creating, and then 4 hours after that is me just like celebrating.
Celebrating,
Yeah,
yes.
you're like,
I
yo,
can't
I just
believe
did
it.
some shit.
Where did this come from?
Oh man! I'd write a song about the song. I'd be, this is
Yeah, I know. It's true.
There's no greater feeling than when you have the idea while you're forming it and shaping it and putting it together. You know that I'm not really going to fully appreciate this till tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I'm loving where this is going.
Yeah.
And you turn that idea into something that's like shaped and molded. You make the sculpture.
Yeah.
You build the building. You know what I'm saying? And when you finish that, you're like, I'm going to listen to this 900 times in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah.
And each
100%.
time it's
I know.
going to get better.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, man.
The best is when you wake up the next day and you play it and it sounds good.
Oh,
Yes,
the light of
yes.
day?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
The
good
next
when you're
time
like,
you're like,
oh, it's not as good as I
Yeah,
thought it was
I
going to be.
know, Yeah.
But that's also a beauty part of it too, because you got to just get some
Yeah.
of that other stuff out in order to get to what's underneath. You know?
I've definitely woken up the next day and hated it, and I've also woken up the next day and just laughed.
Right?
I didn't hate it, but I
yeah.
just kind of laughed. I was like,
Right,
man,
right.
what the fuck was I thinking?
I found a session I did like.
This shit sounded good to me last night.
That's how high I was. I found a fucking session that I did, which is it was just some stuff I was writing. 2 chords in the whole song, and it's totally like '80s rub-a-dub, like Tiger kind of style.
Yeah.
You know. And I just remember putting that down. I was like, I don't know why I like that. I like this, and I can't explore it anymore.
Right,
It
right. Just going to leave it there.
4 years later, I was like, oh shit, there it is.
Yeah.
I found it and I turned it into something.
Isn't that cool?
Nice.
Like
You
you
know?
remember those random
cool.
little nuggets that you did, and you go back in your hard drive, and you're like, "There you are!
Yep.
Come out! I got something for you.
Yep.
Finally!
Yep.
You've been in
Yep.
there 10 years.
Yep.
But you never forget those little
Yeah.
gems.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a new project will come along, and maybe you
You can
learn
use it,
something.
sure.
Something happens that it makes sense.
I
And you
just
know how to
mixed
do
a record last year. It was a record that I did with some friends of mine, and I tried to mix it around the time. And I was like, I thought it sounded good, but there was always something about it that I was just like, it's good, but it's not hitting me the way I'm not feeling like how I did in the session.
Yeah.
3 years that record was on the shelf. I'm releasing it next year. And I was like, I had to become a better engineer in order to mix this record.
Right.
You know, but when I went into it and that clicked in my head, I was like, oh, that's why it took so long to mix this record. Because I had to become a better engineer in order to fully do it the way. Now I listen to that record, I feel like how I did when I was playing it. You know?
And also listening to your own work is hard. Like that whole perspective thing. It's really tough. Really tough. So that adds a few months and years too, you know?
Yeah, you're like, I need like a week off. A week turns into like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I only hate listening to it in front of other people.
Oh, I hear you. There's nothing worse than when you go to a dinner party and people are like,
oh, dude. Where we work out, with our school that we do Muay Thai at, our coach, one of our coaches loves the band.
Right. So
and he'll randomly start playing it in the middle of class. We're like, hey, shut that off right
Turn
now.
that shit off right now.
Like,
no, man, it's cool.
We're not doing
but
this.
Let it be cool when I'm not here.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's hard, man.
Yeah, we've done that. And people start laughing how we react quick to it.
People don't understand like what that feels like.
But they like it, so it's like kind of.
Well, it's great that they like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's hard.
But it's hard. It's like it's a worm like crawling on you. Like you can't get away from it.
Yeah, I only get weirded out in front of people, but when I'm listening to it alone, I can generally say I get really excited about just listening to music that I made with like friends and like you know what I'm saying. Like I like really like appreciate that. I appreciate the process and with like people that you enjoy spending time with and like you created this thing together. You know what I mean?
That's something they can't take from us.
No,
that's right.
Another one of those.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? The ability to like get in a room and I think it's still, you know, the song still has an effect. It still has a purpose.
It really does.
A good song?
Yeah.
That's the one thing. If you look at all the artists you love, like what is it? It's always a song.
Yeah.
It's always the song. It's never just the this or that, the beat or the production or whatever it was that they sold at the time. You know, there's a song.
When someone's got a good song.
It's always a song.
Like, yeah. And there's nothing that makes you feel great when you know, like, when you know you have a good song.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, shit, I just wrote a
Yeah.
song.
And, you know, back to Bob, like, that's all.
Hey.
Back to Bob. Cheers.
Cheerios.
Cheers. Hey, thanks for thinking of me, man. Seriously.
Oh, of course, man.
Makes me feel good. You know, whenever I'm not included into the old Williamsburg, I'm like,
nah, man.
You know,
I see all. You know,
there's a lot of bands. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I always follow. You know, whatever you're doing and stuff, and it just. I saw it. Something you posted that day. No. I did see you that day, obviously in the feed, but then you hit me up. You were like, "I'm going to be playing a show out by you."
Yeah,
that's how it started. And I was like, "He's
oh,
gonna
that's
be
true."
here.
In Jamestown,
and I was
right.
like, "I'm going to seize this opportunity right now." Hey, you want to do the podcast? You were like, "Yep." I was like, "That was easy." It just worked out.
No, I mean,
but I figure
like,
just seize the time, man.
Yeah,
you're going to be up here, just.
No, I want to be like. I mean, it's been like I don't.
And
come
it was a
to
good way
New
for
York
us to
yet.
really hang out and like catch up too. You know what
True.
I'm saying? Because like when you're always on the run when you're in New York.
It's hard. New York's
you're running around. You're trying to.
New York's
catch up with
hard,
everybody.
man. Like we just had a meetup tonight, and it's just hard.
It's
to see
hard, man. Even
everybody,
when
everybody can't make it, then it's like, can you do it tomorrow? I'm like, dude,
yeah,
man,
you have to shift everything. Well, you know, be like, let's go do this. Or it has to be like an event.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? To like get people together, or like a birthday or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough, man. It's
I know.
tough. It's like I'm here every week, but what am I doing? I come to the shop. I go to the gym. I go to the shop. I go to the gym. I do a podcast. I go back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like I stay in 1 mile.
Right.
I don't go anywhere.
It's
Man.
true. Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. Like people, other people that know us have complained to Claudia and stuff. They're like, he comes every week. He doesn't even call me. And Claudia's like,
Yeah.
yo, that dude goes to the gym,
I know,
goes
right?
to work, and there's a bar right next
Just
to the
wanna be
apartment.
left
He goes
alone.
there.
I don't have many friends. I don't know about you. I mean, I have friends, but like, I don't require like.
You know my friends. They're your friends too.
Right. Yeah. But it's a lot easier when you leave the city, man, to like realistically acquire
I couldn't even. I
things.
wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to live here full time again.
God, man.
How long have you been gone? You've been gone from New York for.
Man, I've been gone for a long time, man.
When you left and you came back after the first time
I
you
came back. You remember when I left, dude? I
But you didn't
remember.
move- you moved back.
Dude, I remember like we had made this record, and we got a little slight buzz about it, and then we had this big loft show in Soho. You remember that? It was, I don't know.
Oh,
it was like
I remember.
I
it was
played
like
drums
above.
at that show.
You played drums with us.
Yes, I remember.
And it was like crazy, you know, like
Wasn't Clive Davis there or some shit?
yeah, it was like
I remember that.
And
I
everybody
never
was
played
like,
live.
David
Really.
Bowie's loft is
Fashion-y.
right
It was, like,
across
very
the hall.
fashion.
Yeah, like David Bowie's.
And Roots was down on Lafayette. At
Yeah.
the Roots Clothing Company was down on Lafayette.
I do
right
remember
at the
that.
bottom of that building.
What were we talking about?
No, leaving New York and
leaving
coming
New York.
back.
Yeah, at that point, well, 9/11 just happened,
Mm-hmm.
and man, that really it got to me. I think I was exhausted from like making a record or trying to figure out how to learn to make a record 3 years, and then that happened. So I was leaving, but they did this big show for us in that loft, and you was like, man, why would you leave whenever you got such a buzz? I remember you telling me, I don't know if you said buzz, but it was like, man, like you finally got stuff going and you're leaving. And I remember you came to my apartment in Williamsburg and I played you my record. I was just silently working on this thing for a while, and I'm not the type to tell you anything or to say, hey, remember, listen to this. But we were friends. We were talking about Cap Verde, all the stuff from reggae to dub, all that stuff. And I had made this album to the best of my ability. And then a little buzz happened, and you're like, why were you leaving? You know?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
That's a very Danny thing to say.
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, I probably shouldn't have left at that time.
No,
but
you
I mean,
made
it
the
was,
right decision, man. Everything's working out for you.
I just wanted space at that time. I wanted to make noise.
Yeah, there's no
I have-
place
I
in
wanted
New
to
York.
play music. I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to like really make noise. I felt like in New York it was like everything was headphones, and I felt
think
like
it's
this,
amazing
you
when
know?
people actually leave New York.
It's hard to leave.
It's
New York.
super fucking hard. They say there's a curse.
It's really, really.
They say there's
there
a
is
curse.
a curse.
Yeah,
There is.
it keeps pulling
Like
people
you're
back.
failing in life if you move away from New York.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
it is, though?
Yes.
It's also like you think, where else am I going to live? It's got to be some
can
kind
live
of,
anywhere.
Yeah, but
You
like
can
they
live
think
all
it's
over
got to
the
be some
world.
kind of like metropolis. It's only because it's a world city.
Yeah, but
You know,
this,
that's what
I feel
makes
like
it different.
yeah.
You
But
can't
they-
get ramen at 4 a.m.
But
in
you
New
hit it
Orleans.
on the head
Yeah.
though when you said you feel like you're failing in life if you leave.
You do.
Have that
There's a
weird
big-
feeling.
You're like,
But it's
man, I
such
came here to
bullshit.
conquer, and I'm going home with my tail between my legs.
Yeah, but it's not true.
It's
Because
not true.
living here, you learn so many
do.
things, and you evolve, and then you take that shit somewhere else, and you evolve even more. You know?
Yeah.
You take it somewhere else, you can just turn it into your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you take a New York hustle just by your being here. You have a hustle, whether
Yeah.
you realize it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna figure that out when you go somewhere else, and you're gonna be like, nobody's doing. Like, you're like, I can fucking run shit around.
Yeah.
That's your first thought. Like,
Yeah.
as crazy as it is, but you're like, I could just fucking
Yeah.
run shit. It's just waiting to get stepped into.
Yeah.
You know,
But speaking of,
there's the sirens.
Every episode.
Every good episode has sirens.
That's Brooklyn right
nice.
there.
Yeah, exactly. There's New York for you.
That's
Dude, I
nice.
talked to Isha. She called me from lunch. She works up at Columbus Circle. Sirens and all that shit. I'm just like, dude, how it like by the way it sounds, how is that fucking area of
Dude,
the
I
city not just like
never-
burned to the ground like some
Yeah.
apocalyptic?
right.
Totally.
There's always sirens and always like, I was like, you can't call me at lunch. I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
I never go up there. It's weird. You can have so many different kinds of New York experiences.
Yeah.
I just started
You know,
So
like if you're on a
man.
plane with somebody coming here, you're like, oh, where do you live?
Yeah.
Upper West Side. I'm like, oh, okay. Damn, I never go.
It's like a whole other world.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
I just started going back into the city after fucking
Right.
never going.
You know?
Oh, dude. I never go into Manhattan. If I go to Manhattan, it's like go to the doctor or something.
Right.
Well, dude, when we went and saw the Cumbia show, and then me and Isha
That was
were
twice in
down
1
there.
week we went to
Yeah, I
Manhattan. That
like-
was really weird
Yeah,
for me.
and then we had gone up to fucking see Harvey on Broadway, and then we went we were in the city for all the shit. I was,
And we took the train.
yeah,
Which is even weirder for me. I remember John once said, he said seeing Danny Zion on the train is like seeing a Yeti.
You don't take the train anymore?
Oh,
Boy,
man.
you are
I
I stopped taking the
evolved.
train in the
He never
90s.
took
dude.
the train.
Oh.
I drove everywhere. I always drove, man. I always drove. And it would be.
Oh, you had those little
beamers.
Beamers, dude.
Yeah, all the
What
time.
did you have? 3 Series?
Yeah,
I'm
three,
it's just coming back.
fives.
E30s, though, right?
That was E36, and then I've had E46s,
Damn.
a few of them.
Nice.
And, yeah.
I want a wagon so bad.
I'm BMW. I'm Team BMW.
I want a BMW wagon.
Yeah, they're
Really
dope. They're awesome.
You know,
They're
newer
awesome.
one. How you doing? Yeah, I want a
they're
newer
awesome.
one.
Hey, how you doing? They were awesome, man. Their BMW wagons are amazing.
You
I
still
love those
driving?
cars. Yeah, I got a 3 Series sedan and X3.
What year?
2015.
So that's like
2015.
That's the F ones, the F.
The 3 Series.
What are they called?
Series?
Like the chassis number, you know?
That one I'm not sure. And then I have the
think
X3, the SUV.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're a little bit more souped up. They're not like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're not like the lame ones. They're like 3.5.
Yeah,
Twin turbo.
Right.
But I love them. I've always been into Beamers, man. I'm such a coconut.
I love them. I love the old E30. So it's like my love. I love the late 80s.
Yeah. Oh, that was my favorite. That's what I moved here with. I had an
330.
87 dropped. Midnight blue, tinted windows.
I thought I
black
remember
leather.
you in
yeah,
one
it was
like that.
Killer,
Yeah.
man. That was such a
Dude,
dope car.
Margaret's brother just fixed up. He just rebuilt his engine in his E30. It's
I love that car.
325.
I love that car, man. I bought when I opened up my skate shop back in the day. Started making some money. And I was like, my cousin had that car and he was outgrowing it. I was like, I'll buy this fucking thing off you, and I just like made it better. But I moved here with.
I
that
love
shit.
those cars.
So cool.
I thought I remember you in a late 80s
Yeah.
Beamer.
Yeah, yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. That's what I had when you first moved here. I think.
Man, I love those cars so much.
I remember driving through Manhattan all the time, smoking blunts with Josh in the car.
You know what's funny about Josh, man? It's like you took me to your apartment. Well, I think it was John and
Yeah,
Josh's
this is a
apartment.
crazy story.
It was John and Josh's apartment. I don't know. You took me
I
there.
lived above the bathroom.
He was like, "Oh, you like Dub?" Yeah, I don't know where you were living, Bill,
Lived on the ceiling.
but
Pretty much, I lived on the ceiling.
but we went in there and like we listened to you had all of these Dub records and we just talked Dub like, and I just was like I felt like I met somebody who understood.
Dub music,
You know?
man.
Dude,
a
it's
It's
beautiful
really
thing.
great.
Dub records. One time when I because we had Cubica, so we had the tax ID number for that. Mm-hmm. So I look up VP Records, and obviously it's right there in Jamaica, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, called them up. They said I could come down there and buy records.
Yeah,
So I can wholesale it, right?
wholesale. Wow.
This is like 98, 99.
Yeah.
You went with me, didn't you? We went together.
That's when because we drove.
Yes.
We drove out there. We ended up at JFK.
Yes.
And then we were like, "Whoa, fuck, we're lost." And then we drove back, and we ended up at LaGuardia.
It's because we were smoking the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm good.
So Bill goes with me to the warehouse, the VP Records warehouse, and they're like, "Yep, you can go through everything. Just go through all the shelves or whatever, and pick what you want, and bring it to." There was like a weird conveyor belt. It was almost like a grocery store.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Yo, dude, you want to talk about every fucking DJ record that came out from 77 to like 90?
Really?
Every dub record,
Rhythm, like
everything
Damn.
I bought.
Now I remember you had a lot of vinyl.
I
in there.
bought it all.
Damn.
And that shit I was paying like $3 a record.
Really? Damn.
And a lot of those records now are like $40, $50.
Wow.
Most of them are like at least 25 and up. And I was
even
paying
like 5
$2,
years
$3
after
for
that,
them.
you couldn't find those fucking.
Yeah, they were all gone. And they were laughing at me too a little bit. They were kind of like, what do you want all
What do
this
you
for?
want?
What are
This,
you going to do
like,
with
what
this
is
thing?
it? Yeah, right.
But I was
You
like,
were like,
what do you
no.
mean? This is like the gold.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
hadn't
This-
figured it out yet.
they didn't
It
know.
didn't flip over yet. You
Took
know what I'm
years,
saying?
like-
You know what?
Took a few.
So Prince Polo got famous.
No.
Once we were DJ,
Knowing what I
feel like
know
once
now
we-
about VP and my relationship with them, they were like they're so storefront. They're just like, oh, you want to take the back stock? That's the only reason you got those records cheap because they just wanted them out.
Oh yeah, because I feel like even like right
Those
after
records
when
were the equivalent of like if they were sitting in somebody's garage and you had a rummage sale and somebody came by, they're like,
just wanted them out.
oh my god, like you just
Yeah.
give me $10, take all of them.
I
Get the fuck outta here.
easily bought 500 records.
Yeah.
Easily, maybe more, because definitely more because we sold a bunch through the shop there.
Yeah.
So I bought a shit ton. But after that, that's when we started doing all our like niceness parties and all like our
Yeah.
like reggae parties.
I
And
love
stuff.
that shit.
After that, I feel like that had a lot to do with like the reggae scene in New York that wasn't like primarily Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like new
for like
kinda
reggae,
like-
like you
yeah.
know, like non-Jamaican
Yeah.
listeners
You remember
that would come to the parties and stuff.
We
you
were
know?
at a party and like I was gonna DJ, do like a half hour like set or something like that. So somewhere in the city, our new took us. This girl was playing something before us, and like the whole party just fucking nosedived.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, "Oh, you want to go on?" And I started putting on that Shabba Ranks, like, "Oh, time something come back again," like all that shit, and just reignited this whole fucking place. You know, get up, stand up, and rock, and Admiral Bailey and all that shit. And then like some DJ comes up to me, like 2 songs in, I just relit this whole place on some like 87 jammy shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, it's my turn to spin. No, it's fine. And everybody was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, this dude just reignited your whole shit. Like,
Yeah, when we did all the Irresistible parties.
But you would spin that crazy UB40, like you would spin like the 85 to 86, and then I would do like the
digital
87.
Digi-D.
Like Digi-D, man.
Yeah. That's what he used to call me all the time, Digi-D. I always played like super early 80s digital shit.
Nice. Digi-D.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
That time,
it works,
people weren't really listening to that stuff.
That's nice.
Now
I love some
eat it
80s
up.
stuff too.
It's good. If it's good, it's good. There's a lot of crap.
Man, I love
but the
80s
good stuff
music.
is like, this shit is
Yeah.
good.
Well, you always used to fuck people up with that first UB40 record. I'm not fooled so easily.
So that synth shit and then
like all that shit. Those
I don't
dudes
know
are
if I know
heavy,
that.
and then we'd be like spinning that right in the middle of some like fucking Lee Van Cleef.
You remember a DJ named Ra Kush?
Yeah.
From
Kush.
Jamieland?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
Ross Kush.
Dude, so when I lived here,
That was Black Redemption.
I lived
Black
here. You
Redemption
might
song.
see me at the Verb in the morning if I was treating myself to a coffee. Or you might see me on Sunday. Kush would spin somewhere
Yeah.
downtown. I don't know, like maybe in
It was down in Chinatown.
somewhere in Chinatown.
Yeah.
And I love this guy, like, because I would go to Jamieland because they had all the reggae stuff that you could possibly want. And I was like, man, he knew I was a singer trying to figure out what I was doing. And he's like, oh, you need to hear this guy. You need to hear this guy. You need to
he
hear-"
knew
He knew a lot.
a vast
And then I would go
amount,
hear him play, but it was mostly dub. And I was like, wow, I'm in a room with a sound system in his dub. And it would be this guy, like, he looked like a militant leader.
Kush.
He would just, no, it wasn't Kush.
Oh,
Well, it's
okay.
probably like
It was somebody
Hindi or
standing
something.
in the crowd,
Right.
but I just identified. So I was like getting
like
so.
for like one of
He would
those
just
dudes.
stand in the back, kind of like real. I mean, he wouldn't do anything, but it was like the music was great, and I was discovering all kind of new singers. And
There was great reggae parties at that
Back
time.
then,
man.
Jesus.
Now there's like none of it in New York
Yeah.
anymore, man.
all that
Nobody's-
shit would be in Chinatown too, because you could smoke
Yeah.
fucking herb down there.
Yeah, I don't hear of any parties like that now. Like,
They're around, but it's not like, it's just different. You know, it's like people now, they have their time, we had our time,
yeah.
but we definitely had a little bit more like seasoning.
Do you think it was because there was less of everything? Yeah, I feel like it was less of everything. So like you appreciated what was around because it was less of everything.
But like we were saying before,
Now it's like
each
this.
scene,
It's like so.
you get whatever you
scene
want
was
at
its
any
own
time.
individual thing. So you could be like, oh, I want to go to what was the band we used to go see in Fort Greene with Tesfa on guitar.
Oh, I forgot the name.
Like that party, we used to go to that one.
Yeah, I
But
forgot the
then-
name of that party.
Yeah,
too.
and
That was a
then-
huge one.
That was a great one. And then there was all this shit going on in Chinatown, like, you know. And then we tried to kick shit off over here, and then
Yeah.
we were, you know, rocking over here for a while
At the
and
Black Booty.
the Black Betty, and then like
Black
Stinger.
Betty. That was a great party,
Yeah, Black Betty was fun.
dude. Okay, so
That's
was.
where I first saw Paulie. The
Oh
Black
really?
Betty. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, with all you guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zionics.
funny man. Yeah.
Zionics.
So remember that area there in Williamsburg. Now it's so many cars, so many people
Yeah.
are there. But that time when we played there,
It was
you
a
could park
little-
right in the front of the
You
place.
can park right up.
Yeah. You said park. Dude, you know, I never realized how Massachusetts your accent was. We were at a party the other day.
You just thought
It's
that's how I
awesome.
talk.
No, I didn't know. I'm like, oh yeah,
My
I
friend
did.
Matt,
Because
drink a
I've been
beer.
spending time up there.
I'm not that bad.
No,
We were at a party. We played last week in Quincy.
Yeah,
south of
Quincy
Boston.
got it bad though.
And this lady was like, she was like, you're partying in the corner. Like potty. I thought somebody was pissing in the corner.
Oh, no,
It's
you
like
potty,
you're
yeah.
potty. I was like, yes.
Yeah, my accent's
I
definitely
love
it's a
it.
mix from being here for so long. It's definitely like a
No,
mix up
you
in
don't
New York
have like
and,
that. But,
Boston.
I mean,
I don't
just-
sound like that. But there's
I
different
just made the
Massachusetts accents
connection.
though.
I made the connection
Yeah,
for the first
I have
time.
it.
Like, oh yes.
I have it for
Yeah.
sure. But there's different Massachusetts accents. When people always think of the Boston one or like the Boston cab driver guy, those people don't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so many, and then there's like immigrant Boston accents or Massachusetts accents rather. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ones, man. You got Cape Verdean Massachusetts accent, you got Portuguese one, you got Spanish, you got white. It's all different.
Yeah.
You got old Irish ones. It's all mixed up. But on TV, they only show you the one. It's always the park the car in the Harvard Square. Nobody talks like that. You know what I mean? Nobody talks like that.
Babe. You're partying in the corner.
You're partying in the corner, I definitely would hear.
You're partying in the corner.
My parents would say that to you.
I love that one.
That was somebody's mom that said
Yeah.
that to us.
My mother, yeah, I could hear my parents saying, party in the corner.
Like, he's pissing in the corner?
Man, I wish we had an acoustic guitar and a melodic.
I was gonna text you
guys
and just tell you to. I was
That
gonna
would've
say,
been
yo, you
cool.
should bring a guitar if you have one. But
That would have been awesome.
Floss my khakis.
that will be
What does it
next
mean?
time.
Yeah. Speaking of next time, we can wrap it though.
Yeah.
I think we got something pretty good here.
Yeah.
That's
That was
nice,
awesome, man. It was a pleasure having you.
That was fun, man.
But yeah,
Yeah, that was.
everybody.
We talked a long time. Oh Lord, you put people to sleep. But, yes.
I want to thank our guest, Dustan Louque, for coming by, hanging out with us. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram at the Tiger Pit Podcast and on Facebook at the TigerPitPodcast.com. Take it easy.